Well, it seems like just a couple days ago the season opener was tipping off for the Defiance boys basketball team. But as we join you tonight, there's only a couple games left on the regular season schedule. And tonight is senior night as the Bulldogs welcome second-ranked Ottawa Glandorf to the Dog Pound. Head coach Bryn Lehman's squad looking to pull off the upset and hand the Titans their first loss in Western Buckeye League play. Welcome aboard, everybody. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Going solo tonight as you are watching DCTV Sports. As the Bulldogs at 7-12 overall, 3-4 in the WBL, hosting the second-ranked Titans of Ottawa Glandorf. They enter tonight's contest with a 16-3 record, 7-0, perfect, unblemished in the Western Buckeye League. Right now you're getting a good look at some of the seniors being honored here this evening, not just the basketball players, but the cheerleaders. We've got several of them as well. The managers and a few extras, parents, and proudly so, of their youngsters' accomplishments. I had a chance to stop out and watch a practice earlier this week and talk to head coach Bryn Lehman for the Bulldogs. We'll hear from him coming up in just a minute. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is underway. Pretty good crowd on hand here this evening, and as expected, Ottawa Glandorf did travel well, especially their student section. Situation where basically both coaches talking about what this game means as far as sharpening each other. That's the old phrase, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. They want difficult, they want competitive games on the schedule this late in the regular season, because in less than a week, a little over a week actually, we're going to be looking at a one-game season. You're literally playing for the right to wear the uniform one more time. We can sit here and run down the rosters, especially for the second-ranked Titans, who have at least one future college basketball player on their roster. No surprise in Colin White, who has made the decision. He made it back in August to go ahead and sign with Ohio State. Caden Erford, their big burly 6'4" center, has an opportunity to play at the Division II level. He is still mulling his options. My understanding is his father was a military man, or is a military man, and he's actually thinking about going straight into the service. However, if he chooses the other route, his skills will get his college paid for. He's got several GMAC teams, not the least of which would be Tiffin, and I believe Ohio Dominican, who have been looking at him, and of course several Division III schools as well. On the flip side, the Bulldogs just trying to get better with each passing game, each passing practice. They have great athletes, but finishing has been a challenge for them. Just a handful of games below 500 at 7-12, one game below 500 in the WBL at 3-4, and at least 5, probably closer to half a dozen, maybe even 7 games over the course of the season where they could look at the final score and say woulda, coulda, shoulda. It will take nearly a perfect effort tonight to knock off the second-ranked Titans. Like I mentioned, had a chance to stop out and watch a very intense, very spirited practice earlier this week. Head coach Bryn Lehman really throwing down the gauntlet to his players, saying you have high expectations, but you have to have high expectations the second you step on the court for practice, not just a game. It's the little things that make the difference. We'll let him say it in his own words. We'll take a quick timeout. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues right after this. Coach Lehman, you're watching DCTV Sports. Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. Tip-off still around the corner, as it's hard to believe. We talked a bit about this a little bit last week. The first pregame interview we did seemed like a blink of an eye ago back in early December. Here we are now with less than a handful of regular season games left to go. Sunday night, the postseason brackets were out. Now, that's not to say you look ahead, but for right now, it's a chance to get better, put some wind in your sails, and continue to play your best basketball. Coach Lehman joining us right now as Ottawa Glandorf makes the trip to the Dog Pound, unbeaten in the WBL. what a better night than to go ahead and send some seniors out and put a knot on their head. First things first, walk us through last weekend. Back-to-back nights, challenges. You had, to a certain degree, the fourth-ranked team in Division I in Whitmer on the ropes. What did the film tell you when you had a chance to look back at that one?
We've just been, and I touched on this last week as well, but we've been a little bit more competitive the last couple weeks. I thought we went through a lull mid-January to early February where, we were making some mistakes that, we had made early in the season, and we weren't growing to the capability that I thought we should have by now. So it was really good to see us compete against two good teams. Salinas had a really good season, and clearly Whitmer's one of the best teams in the area. So for our guys, to respond to some adversity, I thought, for us not scoring a ton of points, this was as good as we've been offensively, just getting into a flow and just playing and not having to force and rely on one or two guys. I thought for the most part we were aggressive top to bottom. We were just playing two very good defensive teams. So I think a lot to take away from, and we'll continue to get better.
Speaking of better, not a single game, nothing but practice this week from Saturday, obviously, into tonight against Ottawa Glandorf. It's one thing to do the scout. It's another thing to continue to work on yourself. What's your focus so far this week?
So the last two games, it's a little bit odd. The draw has already happened. We know where we're at. Ottawa Glandorf's Division III and Wapauck's Division I, so neither one of these teams are teams we'd run into in the tournament. But it's going to be good to treat them as tournament atmospheres because I know Friday night, tonight there's going to be a lot of people and Wapauck's going to be a hostile environment. So two tournament atmospheres that are going to get us geared up. But this week's going to be focusing on what we started to do well this weekend and just expanding on that.
Where would you say you've made your most improvement? I know we talk about I think the last time I asked you was from the start of the season to now, but maybe just in the last couple of weeks, you've re-engineered the starting lineup, so to speak. You took Tone off the ball, then you put him back on the ball, electing to go for a larger, maybe beefier, stronger lineup. Talk about where this starting five is and the improvement they've made just maybe in the past 2 to 3 weeks.
I think one of the biggest things that we've gotten better at is it's been piece by piece. It's really been a culmination of the entire season. Early in the year, I thought we took a lot of poor shots. We weren't ready to play. We weren't very smart with the basketball. And now I think we're beginning to be smarter with the ball. The point production maybe isn't there, but we've got guys being aggressive in the appropriate spots and taking care of the basketball. So, little by little, I think our guys have pieced together how to play and what to do at the varsity level.
Let's go ahead and break down tonight's opponent. Ottawa Glandorf comes in with just 3 losses on the season, at least as of the last ranking, number 2 in the state in their division. Everybody talks about White, so let's just go ahead and get him out of the way. He's an elite scorer. He's going on to play, obviously, at an elite level. But break this kid down for us.
He's very, very dynamic. And I think the biggest thing that sticks out, he's very talented, but he's very competitive. And, since his freshman year, when he's played against us, he's made big plays when they need big plays made. So that's the first thing and the biggest thing that sticks out. But very, very skilled offensively, great mid-range game. He can do a little bit of everything. And this year, more than ever, he's handled the basketball. So very, very dynamic, tough to guard, tough to plan against. And then, defensively, I think that's something where a lot of star players will maybe take a break and they'll catch their breath. But he doesn't sit much, and he really gets after it defensively. So he's a tremendous player.
I know it will take a team effort, but who draws him, at least to start?
Brez is going to start on him. So Brez will be on him, and then we'll have Garrett on the Erford kid. So I think, size-wise.
A star in most other lineups,
sure.
Right? He's not just an anonymous voice in the chorus. This guy was, you were telling me, shooting 50% best in the conference last season, and he's close to that again this year.
Yeah, he's a tremendous scorer. And I think, the last few years they've had more pieces around to sort of draw attention elsewhere. He's still shooting 40% from 3 this year, but he's a little bit more of the opposing team's focus, him along with Collins. So those are 2 guys that we're definitely going to have to be alert and aware of. But I think with Brez and Garrett, we've got some defensive versatility with some size and physicality that I think if they're geared up and ready to go, I think they can give those guys trouble.
What are they going to run defensively at you?
They'll run and jump in the full court. They'll do a little 2-2-1. They like to mix it up, but it's going to be a lot of run and jump. It's going to try to up the tempo, and that's why playing Whitmer, last Saturday was big in preparing us for an up-tempo style, a team that wants to get up and pressure and get in your face. So that was good for us last weekend for preparing for tonight.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but one of the themes that you have talked to me about, especially early this year, and you are a better team than you were, obviously, to start in December, but you've used the term almost or what if multiple times before I've hit the record button here. What's the potential? How close is this team to breaking that glass ceiling and kicking those words out of your vocabulary?
Very close, very, very close. And I don't think they even realize how close you are because, there's so many small things that make a big difference in this game. Our guys understand the importance of taking care of the basketball and shooting good shots and pressuring all five guys playing team defense as opposed to one guy playing and the other four standing and watching. It's small things like that have a big outcome on games. Shooting free throws and practicing and making practice meaningful and purposeful. So they're really, really close. It's just a matter of translating what we talk about and do in practice into the games.
Nothing left to do but tip this one off. Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Good luck again tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Lehman joining us on the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We're back with more. You're watching DCTV Sports. Welcome back to the Dog Pound. We are 4 minutes and 38 seconds away from tip-off as the Bulldogs of Defiance, 7-12 overall, 3-4 in the Western Buckeye League, welcoming the number 2 ranked team in Division III, the Ottawa Glandorf Titans, 16-3 and a perfect 7-0. Respectively. Let's go ahead and give you tonight's starting lineups, courtesy of Baker Schindler Company. Again, Baker Schindler Company bringing you tonight's starting lineups. Let's go ahead and start with the hosts, the Bulldogs. And you heard Coach Lehman talk about revamping or re-engineering this starting lineup. He's been, I don't want to say toying with it, but adjusting it, maybe the better term, over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Your starting point guard will be Antonio Lopez, the 5'10 senior. Lopez, averaging 10 points per ball game. He also is a good assist man at 3.2 per contest. Also an excellent free throw shooter at nearly 72%. The change going a little bit larger at the guard spot. Off the ball, Brez Zippel. Zippel standing in at 6'2", and he's a good 190 pounds. Zippel starting quarterback for the football team. He comes into tonight averaging 5.5 points, and it's just a shade under 4 rebounds per contest. Khalil Ligon is your man at the swing, 6'3" and a junior. Ligon averaging 10.1 points and 4.6 boards per contest. Brogan Castillo is your power forward, the 6', 185-pound senior. Comes in averaging just a shade under 10 at 9.7 points, 5.5 boards per contest. And in the middle, again, another change as of a couple of weeks ago, 6'3", 215-pound Garrett Rodenberger. He is a load inside. He's averaging 2.5 points and 4 rebounds per contest. Those are your starters for the host Defiance Bulldogs. On the flip side, for the second ranked in Division III, Ottawa Glandorf Titans, well, they've got some pretty good athletes as well. In his 13th season at the helm, Coach Tim McLaughlin says this one is special. They've got an opportunity to win a state championship. Right now, their focus is on going a perfect 8-0 in conference play. They'll send the following 5 to the court. Again, it will be Grant Schroeder. Schroeder standing in at 6'1". He is a junior. He averages 7 points per contest and 2.7 rebounds per game. Grady Tamazos will be, basically those two will kind of share the point guard chores when Colin White is not bringing the ball up the court. Again, he is a 6-foot junior. He is averaging 7.5 points per contest, and he's a good dish man at 2.3 assists per contest. At the swing, it will be the future Ohio State Buckeyes. 6'6" senior Colin White. Now, he is an alpha male, but he's also a great student athlete. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He enters tonight's game averaging 24 points and 8 rebounds per contest. Rounding out the front court, Ross Magg. Magg standing in at 6'3" and a junior. He averages 2.6 points per contest. And should he choose to play college ball, he's got several Division II offers. Caden Erperd at center. Erperd stands in at 6'4", and he's got some size on him. He also has some impressive totals at 14 points and 6 rebounds per contest. Those are your starting lineups, courtesy of Baker Schindler Company. Under a minute left to go in our warm-ups. The balls have been put in the racks. The warm-up jerseys have been shedded. Everybody getting set to line up for the playing of our national anthem. And there you get a great look from our half-court shot. The colors being unfurled right over the Defiance logo. The cheerleaders from both sets of teams lining up on their ends of the court. Crowd continuing to file in here. A little bit later of a start than anticipated. The JV contest ran about 15 minutes longer than usual. Defiance boys holding off Ottawa Glandorf in the JV contest. The host Varsity Bulldogs would love nothing more than to hand the second-ranked Titans their first blemish in Western Buckeye League play. It will take a near-perfect effort to do so. Defiance in their home whites with the blue lettering and numerals with the blue stripes down the jersey tops and shorts. Ottawa Glandorf in their traveling black uniforms with the gold, not quite piping, but sections on the top, around the waist, and at the bottom of the shorts. As the Ohio High School Athletic Association, the standard sportsmanship reader normally done by the PA announcer. But here they've got the benefits of the extra technology and the Jumbotron overlooking the court of the Dog Pound, and they have various Bulldog athletes and Spirit Squad members do the reading for the PA announcer. And that is in the books. PA announcer Josh Bush will do the same thing, encouraging everyone to work good sportsmanship. And members of the sportsmanship committees from both respective schools will meet at half court. And some characters, as you can see, representing Ottawa Glandorf. Round of applause. Your officiating crew this evening, it's an experienced group: John Derryberry, Steve Oren, and Rodney Stinson. We'll see if they let them play. And it looks like we're going to have an a cappella chorus do the honors for the national anthem this evening. As the crowd here at the Dog Pound rise to their feet, we can tell you that the national anthem, courtesy of the Defiance Elks Lodge 147, thanks to their sponsorship of the national anthem. And the national anthem in the books. Again, brought to you by the Defiance Elks Lodge 147. Thanks going out to them. We'll get set for the announcement of the starting lineups. We gave them to you earlier this evening. You heard Coach Lehman in his pregame interview talking about the keys to the game. And in particular, how do you slow down? You don't stop a future Division I Big Ten player in Colin White. But can you take him off his game just a little bit, just enough? Maybe try and force somebody else to step up and play a bigger role that they're not used to. I know when talking with Coach McLaughlin for Ottawa Glandorf, he talked about his two guards, Grant Schrader and Grady Tomazos, and how they have stepped up. The expectation was, can you just get better? We don't need you to be big-time scorers, but just improve your game. Give a little bit more. Can we count on you for that? And he said both of them stepped up and have produced more than his expectations. We'll wait and see how it plays out here tonight. Spirit Squad members being introduced. A full squad, both the JV and the varsity for Defiance. There you get a good look from the far side of the dog pound. Here come the starting lineups. And they will alternate. And as has become more and more customary, once being introduced, going over to shake hands with the opposing coach and the officials. Coach Lehman elected a few weeks ago to go with a larger, beefier lineup. A couple of reasons predominantly, and that is to try and hit the glass a little bit more, and also just get more physical on defense. Antonio Lopez started the season as the point guard. He moved off the ball for a short amount of time. Logan Hutchinson came in to take that role over. But in effect, going with 6'3", 215 pounds at center. And Brez Zippel also with a little bit more meat on his bones. Antonio Lopez, which you could say is truly the only guard in the starting lineup. The rest's more front court style. But can you get the job done? We're about to find out. Nothing left to do but tip this one off. Our tip-off courtesy of F&M Bank. There you get a good look at our split screen here this evening. We've got multiple cameras with multiple operators that will be working their way around the dog pound this evening to try and give you the best feel, the best flavor of attending a game here this evening. In the center circle, it will be Rodenberger for Defiance. It will be White for Ottawa Glandorf. The Titans win the tip. You heard Coach mention during the pregame, Brez Zippel will draw Colin White at least to begin with. They will switch on screens 1 through 4, and boy, opening up the game, and I can't think of better fashion, I guess, if you're Ottawa Glandorf, as Tommaso strains a long three. That's a Premier Bank three. And the Titans draw first blood. Zippel dribbles the ball off of his foot, and that'll be the first turnover of the evening. And scoring in transition, Grady Tomazos has the first 5 points of the contest. Lopez will slow it down. They'll work the ball around the perimeter. Nice cut. Lopez drives hard. I think he anticipated contact. They really let him go. Sometimes when you're beat, you're beat. And that one trickles off the left side. Schrader picks up his dribble at the top of the key. Castillo dogging him. Tomazos. Lopez draws him. White cut off baseline. Nice job by Zippel. On the pump fake, Tomazos gets a little deep. Nice drive and dish, long three, and Schrader with a Premier Bank three. How about this? The first 8 points coming from the guards for Ottawa Glandorf. Coming out in pressure. White with the steal. They're going to lob it up to him, and he flushes it home. Colin White making his first 2 points of the game in strong fashion, and it's a 10-0 Titan run to open up the contest. Zippel. It's Ligon cutting on the baseline, trying to back his man down. Muscles up. Off the mark, Zippel. Rejected by White. Well, he's listed at 6'6", but he's got tremendously long arms, all the way down to his knees. Can't count how many times this season we've seen the opposition think they've beaten Colin White, only to get faced as the inbounds deflected away. Jordan Wright has checked into the ball game. Rodenberger and White getting into a scrum. And we have a foul on White. Oh no, they're going to call the foul on Defiance's Garrett Rodenberger, his first, team foul number 1. So Wright in the ball game in place of Lopez. Popping out beyond the arc, Erford. Nice baseline cut, leaning in. Schrader couldn't find the range. Mag with the board, they'll kick it out. Another offensive board. This one goes begging off the left side, and Castillo rips it down over Rodenberger's shoulder. And Wright will slow it down, realizing he doesn't have the numbers. Castillo on the drive, explodes hard. That ball might have been blocked off the glass. It looked like from here, we're at the other end of the gym, that White got a piece of it. On the drive, nice bounce pass on a baseline cut, but Mag can't handle it. Bodies continue to fly. Jay Wright will slow it down as it crosses the timeline. Oh, dangerous pass by Ligon. Zippel corrals it. Defiance has had 2, 3 really good looks, but nothing has fallen so far. Right, oh wow, breaks the ankles of Tomazos, but didn't attack. Working on the big man here, releases to Zippel in the corner. And they were looking for a pick and roll, but that wasn't an accurate pass. And at the other end, Tomazos with his back to the basket. He's got 7 of his team's 12 points, and Coach Lehman wants a timeout. At the 4:24 mark, it has been all Ottawa Glandorf to open up this ball game. We'll take a First Insurance Group timeout. 4:24 left to go in the first quarter. 12-0 Titans. We welcome you back to the Dog Pound as we are not quite halfway through the first quarter, but the number 2 ranked team in Division III taking it straight to the hosts here this evening, as Ottawa Glandorf has yet to allow any points to Defiance in a 12-0 ball game. We welcome you back to DCTV Sports. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Timeout called out of necessity by Coach Bryn Lehman, trying to get the charges going. They're facing a full court press, and Brez Zippel couldn't handle the pass. There's a scrum from the floor, jump ball the call, and Defiance will maintain possession. Now electing to go with a slightly smaller lineup. Antonio Lopez is back in the ball game, but Jordan Wright remains in as well, along with Zippel, Ligon, and Rodenberger. Skipping over the top, quick passing. Ligon on the drive, goes in strong, and at the 4:08 mark, Defiance finally busts the scoreboard. Now it's back to play some defense. Erford, pass in congestion, trying to find Dave Westrick. Dave Westrick would be a star on most other Western Buckeye League rosters. I don't want to call him an anonymous voice in the chorus. He's back from injury. He had a knee injury. This is his first action of the season as Alex Wagner coming off the bench and drains a Premier Bank three. And it doesn't seem to matter who's in a black and gold jersey. They're nailing everything in the early going. Lopez crosses over. Bounce pass. Nice job by Wright to bust the press. Long three is off the mark. Erford taps it to himself. It's a 3-on-3. Big man will slow it down. Speaking of big men, here comes White, who's stripped by Rodenberger. Quick hands. Lopez in between the circles. Wright has yet to attack tonight. They miss him on a cut through. Rodenberger will set a screen. Ligon rejects it. Ball is deflected. Those long arms by White. Wright stops and pops from 15. Nice board underneath by Zippel. Ligon with a great pump fake, and he'll head to the free throw line. Take your pick. Three black jerseys all corralling around him. Foul will be called against Colin White. Will be his first. A slew of substitutions for both teams waiting at the scorer's table as Ligon at the strike cannot hit his first. The free throw line has been anything but free for Khalil Ligon this season, shooting just 54%. As checking back in, Castillo. And also for the first time tonight, Logan Hutchinson, as Ligon makes one of two. 15-3 the score. A couple substitutions also for Ottawa Glandorf. As hustling back across the timeline, Tomazos is back in the game. He and Schrader, the backcourt. Erford. Skip pass in between the circles. Wagner sizing up Lopez. Lots of contact. Great baseline cut, great feed, and Dave Westrick is in the books. Boy, they move the ball so incredibly well. Hutchinson, bounce pass down low, and Lopez just got a little ahead of himself. He would have had an easy lay-in, but maybe the game just moving a little fast right now for the Bulldogs. Crossover by Erford. Near corner, Brody Fortman into the ball game. Wagner will back it out. Fortman in the near corner trying to drive against Castillo. Brogan cuts him off. Under 2 minutes now left to go in the first quarter. Pace maybe slowing down a bit, especially at the offensive end for Ottawa Glandorf, as Fortman dribbles it off of his foot, and over and back will be the call. Buzzer sounds, more substitutions back into the ball game. Connor Kitchen seeing his first action, 6'1" senior. Colin White back into the ball game as well. Bounce pass to Hutchinson in the backcourt. He will size up the situation as he crosses the timeline. Ligon stripped. You've just got to be boss with the ball tonight if you're Defiance. You can't have loose passes. You can't be lazy with the ball. Nice drive, nice dish. Wow. Give another assist to Antonio Lopez as Rodenberger the beneficiary. And finally, somebody other than Khalil Ligon for the Bulldogs is in the scorebooks. Still trailing by a dozen. Schrader on the drive. White sizing up Rodenberger, cut off. Boy, beautiful pass to the far corner, and it falls. Shooter's touch for Alex Wagner, another Premier Bank three-pointer. 15-point lead. Castillo trying to back White down. Double clutches, doesn't catch anything. Under a minute left to go here first quarter in what's been a furious tempo. White just simply loses the basketball, looked like off of his knee. Defiance players pointing saying their ball, but was it last touched by a Bulldog? And does anybody know?
That's terrible.
It was.
That's terrible.
The inbounds into the backcourt. Tomazos, who started this game furious. 7 points. Mazos averages 7.5. He's already to his game average. White drives, beautiful looking jumper from the elbow, and Ligon will be the last to touch it. He couldn't secure it underneath. Boy, a rare miss from Colin White, and yet Defiance couldn't secure the board. White will inbound. Kitchen will head to the bench for Ottawa Glandorf. Going with a more guard-oriented lineup here. And with 13 ticks left to go, it looks like the Titans will work for the final shot of the quarter. Offense put in motion. Erford, nice drive, nice dish. And a three ball to Mazos with a Premier Bank three to end the first quarter. I don't know how much hotter the Titans could have begun this contest. First 8 minutes in the books. Second-ranked Ottawa Glandorf 23, Defiance 5. We're back at the Dog Pound after this first insurance group timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the Dog Pound in Defiance. Second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. The buzzer sounds. I don't know how much more of a point you could have made if you are the second-ranked Ottawa Glandorf Titans. 23-5 over the host Bulldogs. Unofficially on turnovers, I have the Bulldogs with 4 in that first quarter, just 2 for the Titans. Points-wise, let's take a look at your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. Leading the charge for the Bulldogs, Khalil Logan with a basket from the floor and 1 of 2 from the free throw line for 3 points. Garrett Rodenberger has the other basket for the Bulldogs. Grady Tomazos averages 7.2 points per contest. He's got 10, and he's drained 2 3-pointers. 6 points for Alex Wagner off the bench, 3 points for Grant Schrader, and then a deuce apiece for Colin White and Dave Westrick off the bench. Titans with the ball. White driving baseline, cut off by Castillo. He knocks it out of bounds. Baseline inbounds play. They screen to get White open. Misses everything on a 3. Whoa! Castillo had a little help out of bounds. Bumped from behind by Ross Magg, and that'll be a foul. Substitution for the Bulldogs. Checking in, Caden Williams, number 10. 5'8" senior. He and Wright comprising the backcourt. Joined by Zippel, Castillo, and Rodenberger. Pull a pass into the high blocks. Castillo trying to back his man down. Fades away. 7-footer. That's a pretty looking shot. Rogan Castillo with his first points of the evening. There's no such thing as a 16-point basket. If you're Defiant, you're just going to have to chip away, but it's got to start at this end of the floor. Normally a good defensive team. Tonight they've been stung. And Castillo with the rejection on Schrader. It's 5-on-4. Does Wright want to push the matter? Castillo does down the middle of the court. Rodenberger crashes, nothing doing. We've got a whistle. Foul will go against Grady Tomazos. His first. Rodenberger to the charity stripe where he'll get a pair. Big man there to catch his iron on his first one. 46% free throw shooter on the season. See if he can hit 1 of 2 here. And he does. Give him 3 total on the night. 23-8. White will walk it up the middle of the court. Rodenberger will lay in wait for him. Erford, he averages 14 a game. He is scoreless. White averages 24. He only has 2. And yet Grady Tomazos with 10 in the first quarter. Young man that averages just over 7. Defiance digging in defensively. On the drive, Tomazos surrenders. Boy, White with a heat check, and it goes begging off the right side. Castillo will allow it to go out of bounds. Well, it's a 3-0 run for the Bulldogs to start the second quarter. And they get another stop. This is the end that's been somewhat frustrating for Defiance, though, this season. Trying to finish, and they'll need multiple. Rodenberger fades away, tough shot, nothing doing. Castillo tips it up, but it's eventually secured by Mag. Here comes Erford. Castillo staying with him. Tough D. Far corner, open man for 3. And oh my goodness, White just rips that ball away, and he's fouled on the way up, and he gives Rodenberger a little bit of a look. That'll be Rodenberger's second. Ligon at the scorer's table set to check in at the first availability for Defiance as White drains his first free throw. Ligon in, Rodenberger out. Castillo will take a seat. That in favor of TJ Kellermeyer. White, good free throw shooter at 79%, drains both. And it's back up to a 17-point lead, and here comes some zone pressure. And we got here a 2-1-2. Bulldogs go over the top of it. Kellermeyer stops at the free throw line. Lopez got a little high with his dribble, almost got stripped. Backing it out, resetting the offense. Kellermeyer pops out. White's got those long arms, and he's off to the races, and another two-handed jam. Wow. Zippel hustling at the other end, gets the friendly roll. Good aggressive drive by Breslin Zippel. Under 5 left to go in the first half. Oh wow, nice crossover. Stop and pop J does not fall though for Tomazos. After 10 first quarter points, he's cooled off a bit. Lopez hands it to Zippel. Kellermeyer in the high blocks. Didn't really get big. He wasn't posting. Ligon all the way out in between the circles. Got to be careful, big man. Yep. Almost lost the ball, and Coach Lehman wants a timeout. The offense out of sync. 4:24 left to go in the first half. 27-10. Ottawa Glandorf will take a quick First Insurance Group timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports. There's the action from both huddles around their respective coaches. They break up and head out onto the court. 4:24 left to go in the first half. Number 2 ranked in Division III, Ottawa Glandorf, handing it to host Defiance right now, 27-10. Bulldogs will inbound all the way into the back court. Logan Hutchinson back into the ball game along with Kellermeyer, Wright, Zippel, and Ligon. Those are your Bulldog 5 as Kellermeyer got a good look. Couldn't drain it. Rebound, quick outlet. Here comes Erford. Nice job by Hutchinson to get back and cut him off. Here comes White. Little contact. Elevates around the world. It kicks out. Wright keeping his dribble. Releases the basketball. Give and go. Fades away. And right idea, but again, the game just seems to be about a half a step faster than what Defiance is used to. Ottawa Glandorf has sped things up. Into the ball game, Dave Westrick, all 6-7 of him. Erford still looking for his first points. Long shot, long rebound, out to Erford. Off a White screen. Skip pass far corner. White calling for the ball. Hands it right back off. They'll reset their half-court offense. And we've got a whistle off the ball. And the foul looks like it's going to be called against Hutchison. His first. Team foul number 2. Breathing a little heavy. Erford will inbound all the way in the back court. And they'll get it to the big man. He'll walk it across the timeline. Kellemeyer waits on him. Wagner beyond the arc. White posting up down low. Zippel had the block. At least he thought it was clean, but it looks like he'll be called for the foul. Going to try and make him earn it from the free throw line rather than give him the 3-foot bunny. Either way, he's all but guaranteed. He's a 79% free throw shooter. And he's 2 for 2 tonight. White with just 6 points, now make it 7. The average is 24. And if somebody would have told Coach Bryn Lehman before tip-off that with 3 minutes left to go in the half, they would have held one of the most prolific players in the entire state of Ohio to single digits as he drains his 8th, I would have thought Coach Lehman would say, yeah, we would have felt good about our chances in being in a tight ball game. But right now it's a 19-point lead. Here comes Castillo on the drive. Maybe released that just a little early. Probably could have afforded himself another step, maybe even 2 towards the hoop. White lobs it down low to Erford. He got caught up with Hutchison, and a nice job by Ligon to help out and come away with the steal. Rodenberger set to check in at the next stoppage of play, and unfortunately for the Defiance, it's a turnover. Lopez, Rodenberger in, Kellemeyer, Hutchison out. Unofficially, I've got the Bulldogs with 7 turnovers so far here in the first half. His bodies hit the hardwood. Fortman trying to get up. Ertman took a body check from Castillo, and he is down. Wow. Castillo adjusts his first. Erford appears to be all right as he will inbound from the baseline. Crossing over. Nice dish down low. Spin move, and are they calling an offensive foul? They're going to call a charge on Westrick. It'll be his first. Mag will check in. Westrick will take a seat. Coming out in that full court press. Wright slows it down. Oh, he's in trouble. He's picked up his dribble and throws it away. Another turnover. And Wright's there. Can he save it in bounds? He can. Both teams trading turnovers. Wright on the drive in. Can't get the roll. Does draw the foul.
They do that 5 times on our side.
Foul will be charged to Brody Fortman, his first, team foul number 4. Right to the line. 50% free throw shooter on the season. He is 7 out of 14. I think it's 7 out of 15. Zippel in. Rodenberger will catch a breather for Defiance. White checks back in. Erford will head to the bench. Wright will try and hit half of his free throws here. And it won't fall. We've got a foul underneath, and this being charged to Castillo. Castillo picks up his second. So the big men starting to pick up fouls at probably a quicker pace than Bryn Lehman's liking. And that will also be the 5th foul. So walking to the other end of the gym, Colin White, who is 4 for 4 tonight. Make it 5 for 5. Second is on the way. It's Pure. He's picking up his pace. 8 points here in the second quarter, 6 of them from the free throw line. He's got 10 on the game. Almost another turnover. Zippel on the drive. He'll have to earn it from the line. DeMazos picks up his second. Zippel with 2 points on the night. Try and double his output. Brez Zippel, a 57% free throw shooter. Uses every bit of the iron, the backboard, but it falls. Trying to make it 2 for 2, and what do we have here? We have a technical. Or did we just have a lane violation? I thought for a second we might have had a T. I was trying to see which official blew the whistle, and I think it was just a lane violation. But again, a golden opportunity to put another point on the board. Falls by the wayside. And a turnover on the travel. And officially, I've got both teams with 4 turnovers so far here in the second quarter. Out in that full court press again. Lopez. Uh-oh, he's picked up his dribble. He's got to have somebody come get him. He goes over the top of it. Ligon will go all the way in. We're going to have a blocking foul. Oh, my. Boy, that was close. Erford thought it was a charge. Instead, he picks up his first foul. Ligon back to the line after 3 points in the first quarter. Again, has struggles at the free throw line this season. Just a 54% free throw shooter. This one splashes home. Second is on the way. Got them both. 31-13. 18-point advantage with a minute 5 left to go in the first half for the Titans. Little pass in the low block. Schrader swatted away by Ligon. If they hustle, they've got a 5-on-4. They'll slow it down. Zippel on the drive against White. White did not challenge, but it goes too hard off the glass. And White will slow it down. And it looks like the Titans are going to allow everybody a breather. With 27 seconds and counting, they're going to take the air out of the basketball. Right now, Zippel getting right in the jersey of Colin White. White comes over. Almost uses Schrader as a screener. He's going to drive. Schrader set a screen. Great switch by Ligon, and this one thrown away. They had the right idea. The pass just a little hot. And with 3 4/10 seconds left to go in the half, Defiance has to go the length of the floor to get a shot off. Now comes that full court. Looks like 1-2-2 zone pressure. Lopez, couple of dribbles, launched it a little early, and that will do it for the first 16 minutes of play. Both clubs head to their respective locker rooms. Ottawa Glandorf 31, Defiance 13. We'll take a First Insurance Group timeout. We are back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at the Spirit squad at the half. We welcome you back to the Dog Pound. Number 2 ranked in Division III, Ottawa Glandorf, taking it to the host Defiance Bulldogs this evening, 31-13. You're watching DCTV Sports, and we welcome you now to the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Let's go ahead and run down your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. Let's take a look at points, and let's start with the Titans. Grady Tomazos averages 7.5 points per contest. He scored 10 in the first quarter alone. He led the charge as Defiance had held Colin White and 24 points per game average to just 1 basket in the first 8 minutes. Reverse those fortunes in the second 8 minutes. Colin White with 8 points, including 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He has 10 points now at the half, along with Grady Tomazos. 6 points off the bench for Alex Wagner, a 3-pointer for Garrett Schrader, and a 2 off the bench for 6'7" center Dave Westrick. For the Bulldogs, 4 of 5 starters in the scoring column, led by Khalil Ligon with 5 points. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line in the second quarter. After that, 3 points for Brez Zippel, 3 points for Garrett Rodenberger, and a deuce for Brogan Castillo. Unofficially, for turnovers at the half, I have Defiance with 8. It was a cleanly played first quarter, but a little sloppy for Ottawa Glandorf in the second quarter. They had 6. They also have 8 turnovers at the intermission. The tempo, especially in the first probably 5 or 6 minutes of this ball game, was just a track meet, and Defiance does not want a track meet. They prefer the salsa to be mild, as Coach Bryn Lehman says, but Ottawa Glandorf just sped them up. And again, who could have seen this coming from Grady Tomazos? 2 3-pointers, a couple baskets from the floor, and he really set the tone, allowing the rest of his teammates to catch up with him in the second quarter. And as it stands, maybe just a little loose with the basketball, maybe just a half a step faster than what they're used to. And Defiance got some good looks, but nothing seemingly falling through the first 16 minutes of play. Your high point man just has 5 points. That's half of both of Ottawa Glandorf's high point men. And that's not to say that Caden Erfurt might not catch a little fire in the second half. The 6'4", 200-pound center averages 14 a game for Ottawa Glandorf. He is scoreless. Taking a look at what's on the horizon for both these teams as the regular season winding down, just a couple of games left for both squads. Next up tomorrow night for Ottawa Glandorf, they are at Lexington. Next up for Defiance, they've got a week off. They will travel to WBL opponent Wapakoneta next Friday night. We can tell you Coming up, as of last Sunday, the Ohio High School Athletic Association came out with the boys basketball sectional and district pairings. And Defiance knows where they are going to play. They will be on the road on the 27th. And that game will be at Upper Sandusky. The winner of that contest, then 2 nights later on March 1st, will play Elida at Elida, the #1 seed. Again, we're not looking past tonight's game, but just letting you know what the postseason has in store as the brackets are set across the state of Ohio. Now that is your Mark Moats Ford stats summary. About 4.5 minutes before we resume play here at the Dog Pound. More of the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the Dog Pound, the Brunswick the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. 2 minutes and 38 seconds before we resume play. Ottawa Glandorf was out probably about a minute ago. No sign of Defiance right now. Depending on when they come out, it will be a very brief, if at all, warm-up. And my guess is Coach Bryn Lehman in that Bulldog locker room is preaching a little fire as they are down by 18 points. Again, taking care of the basketball, shot selection, defense, a number of areas you could dive in. But let's tip your cap to the Titans of Ottawa Glandorf too. Tyson McLaughlin's company. They're ranked #2 in the state in Division III for a reason, folks. And they put on a clinic in those first 16 minutes. As Defiance is out, they will get less than a couple of minutes as far as a warm-up is concerned. You take a look at our split screen, both teams warming up. Ottawa Glandorf's student section well represented here this evening, as are Kirk's Crazies. Defiance and the pep band doing a good job of trying to keep people upbeat here this evening. Our next broadcast will be next Thursday night, as it will be girls high school basketball playoff action. And we will be back at Ayersville. We were there last night as they won the Green Meadows Conference with a tough fought win over Fairview. But for that night, it will be Ayersville, despite being the #2 seed. Coach Tim Nicely saying they want to play in the opening round. And they will take on 10th seed Hicksville. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip. We'll be on the air with our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show at 6:30. We hope you'll join us. We're following all the area girls and, of course, boys as their playoff brackets are set as well. Ball's put in the racks. Ottawa Glandorf starting 5 is back on the court. Schrader, Tomazos, Whitemag, and Erfurt. Defiance and head coach Bryn Lehman taking every available second to him to try and light a fire under his players. Assuming it will be the same starting five, although I'm not quite sure. And indeed it will be. Lopez, Zippel, Ligon, Castillo, and Rodenberger. Bulldogs will have the ball to open up the second half. Lopez sizing up to Mazos. High blocks. Castillo was thinking Zippel might be available down low, but he wasn't. Lopez with the spin, but he's cut off. Ligon, will he try and back his man down? Nice up and under move. Muscles up. Can't get the range. Rodenberger bodying up White, but he'll kick it back out. Castillo against Erfurt. Boy, they just put one big body after another on you. Zippel uses Castillo as a screen. He can't get the roll, but he does draw the foul. I believe this will be Erfurt's second. And it is indeed Erfurt, and his second. As Zippel will head to the charity stripe for a pair. He's got 3 points on the evening. 4 will have to wait. Brez Zippel, 57% free throw shooter. This has been a weak link in Defiance's armor. They only have 2 players with significant minutes that shoot 60% or better from the line. Zippel barely caught iron there, but Castillo crashing the glass. Lopez to Ligon. He's got the baseline. He stutter stepped a bit, and it's in and out. White will surrender the ball to Mazos. Ligon overplays. Almost got the steal. Gets a high five from Coach Lehman. Lob pass in the backcourt. Doesn't matter. Lopez is going to dog Tomazos up the court. White working against Rodenberger. Kicks to the far corner. A 3 goes around the world and out from Erfurt, and it's one and done as Rodenberger with a strong board. They picked him up, and he elects to release the basketball. Heat check by Lopez. That doesn't catch anything. Diving attempt at a save by Rodenberger, but that is out of bounds. Well, we'll see who wants to score first here in the second half. Defiance has had the chances. Here comes White. Stop and pop jumper. That is just smooth. He's got a dozen. Lopez, nice crossover across half court. I thought he would keep going. Instead, he dishes to Ligon. Give him the assist instead. Khalil Ligon drains the 8-footer from the baseline. We got a whistle and away from the ball. Ooh, Zippel looks like he twisted an ankle. He's up and appears to be okay. Will they sub for him? Yes, they will. Hutchison immediately to the scorer's table. And Zippel will most likely let the trainer Jake take a look at it. He is gimpy as he heads to the bench. He wanted to sit down next to the coaching staff, and they're telling him, go get looked at. Mazos drives and dishes. White working against Rodenberger. Again, a breakdown, open man in the corner. Erfurt with the board, too hard off the glass. Ligon, nice job on the weak side. Slower paced tempo to start the second half here. Both teams trading one basket. That's it. Ligon on the drive. Fakes once, fakes twice, partially blocked by Mag. Mazos across the timeline. Hutchison trying to get into his jersey. And dribbling to stop by Schrader. He needs somebody to come help him. They try and get it to White in the low blocks. Nice job to front him by Rodenberger. Substitutions right in. Lopez out for Defiance. Looks like Westrick will check in for Erford. Schrader at the top of the key. Boy, they know how to catch and shoot. White with the board, leaning in against a double team, but dishes to the far corner, and this one's good. To Mazos with his first points of the second half. He's got 13 on the night. Picking up at half court. Wright keeps his dribble. Whoops, look out, he's double teamed. Rodenberger cut off by White. Pass was a little hot and out of bounds. White will slow it down. It has been a low-scoring third quarter as we hit the halfway mark. 7 points total by both teams. Well, to pass far corner. They're trying to make a living from beyond the arc. It's off the mark. Ball tapped up. White secures it. Leans in. Wow, a rare, and I mean bad miss. Didn't catch anything. Wright. Oh, he's picked up his dribble, double team, quickly gets rid of it. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Castillo trying to make 2-3 moves, nothing doing. Wright crosses over, nice stop and pop jumper, but it's a bit short. Ottawa Glandorf, nowhere near the hurry we saw in the first half from the Titans. Mazos cut off in the lane, kicks it back out to White. We're now under 3 minutes left to go in the third. Westrick manages to keep his pivot foot. Nice overplay by Wright. He almost had the steal. White sizing up Rodenberger. Into the paint, but he's cut off. He'll back it out. Second try. Boy, feathery touch. Colin White showing he can score multiple ways. We've got a timeout on the floor. 2:27 left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a First Insurance Group timeout. Ottawa Glandorf 38, Defiance 15. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. .27 left to go in the third quarter. Take a look at some of the cheerleaders exiting the court as they were throwing out some t-shirts to the crowd here at the Dog Pound. All number 2 ranked Titans, almost from the opening tip-off. They got out to a 10 or was it 12-0 lead. Defiance has just been on their heels from the get-go. They will inbound, and here comes that full court pressure by the Titans. Quickly inbounding to Lopez. Ligon on the drive, lots of contact, nice pump fake, big man with a nice move. Give him 9. back up and still see a 21-point deficit after making a nifty play. Low blocks. Westrick wanted to make a move. Releases top of the key. White feeling the stroke. He's got 17 after a Premier Bank three-pointer. Wow. Checking into the ball game, Josiah Schlatter. As Ligon on the drive hits the deck hard. Schlatter just a freshman. Getting his time with the big boys. This foul will be charged to Westrick. It's his second, team foul number 2. Ligon back to the stripe for the 3rd time tonight. He is 3 for 4 on the season, a 55% free throw shooter. Drains his first. Connor Kitchen will check in for Westrick. Kitchen 6'1". Well, what though? They know where the weight room is at Ottawa Glandorf. Second is on the way for Ligon. Cannot get the roll. Colin White not only clears it, but tells everybody to clear out. I'll bring it up. Sizing up Ziffel. Herford set a screen. They're going to switch. Herford still looking for his first points of the evening. Can't find the range on that three-pointer. White with the board. Draws the foul. Looks like Ligon will pick up his first. White with first trip to the free throw line in the second half for the Titans. Continues to drain them one after another. Now 7 for 7. Second is up. Got another. 19 on the night. And all of a sudden, after just 2 points after the first quarter and a per game average of 24 per game, well, he's getting close to it. Schlatter. Nice movement without the ball. Lopez. Oh, an even extra unselfish pass. That's got to be the 4th dime for Lopez tonight. And Ligon is now in double digits for Defiance. He's got 12. Long three, far corner. Drop another one, this time for Brody Fortman. A Premier Bank three. 26-point Titan lead. Over the top of the pressure. Zippel to Lopez. Oh, nice bounce pass. Another nice move by Kellermeyer to cross through the lane. Heads up play. And with 25 ticks left to go in the 3rd quarter, it looks like Ottawa Glandorf will work for the final shot. We got a foul out in between the circles. Wow. This one going against Hutchison. Nope, check it. Kellermeyer. Clock stops with just under 9 seconds left to go in the quarter. Couple of substitutions. Ligon will check out. As will, let's see who took a set there. Looks like Hutchison. Overplaying, Kellermeyer picks up his second. Less than a second ticked off the clock. The inbounds to Erford. Is he going to drive? Stops. Long three off the heel of the iron. Lopez secures the rebound. 3 quarters in the books. Ottawa Glandorf continues to look strong, 46-22. 4th and final quarter when we come back after this first Insurance Group timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports. Final 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. The scene at the Dog Pound. We welcome you back. Brent Balbinot saying thanks for joining us on a Friday night. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Mark Moats Ford stat summary through 3 quarters. And leading all scorers, he had 2 at the end of the first 8 minutes. You knew you weren't going to keep him down. The question was, could you keep him under his per game average? Right now, he's on pace to actually break it. Colin White, the future Ohio State Buckeye, with 19 points. 13 for Grady Tomazos, 6 off the bench for Alex Wagner, a 3 apiece for Grant Schrader and Brady Fortman, and a deuce for Doug Westrick. As that ball almost turned over. For the Bulldogs, Khalil Ligon, the only Defiance player in double figures. He's got a dozen, nobody else even close. 3 apiece for Brez Ziffel and Garrett Rodenberger, 2 apiece for Brogan Castillo and TJ Kellemeyer off the bench. As there's a turnover. Kellemeyer, nice job to get in front of it. Also in the ball game, Caden Williams, who just turns it over himself. At the other end, White with authority. His 3rd dunk of the night. He's got 21. Another turnover. Here comes Erford. He's going to have to earn this one as Castillo fouls him on the way up. No way Brogan Castillo is going to allow back-to-back dunks. Erford showing a bit of frustration as he averages 14 per game. Still looking for his first points of the evening. Erford at the charity stripe. Excellent free throw shooter at 84%. And as I say that, he misses his first. Ligon will check back in at the next available. This one's in and out. Offensive board and a putback for Schrader. And Coach Bryn Lehman just shakes his head. 50-22. Castillo stripped from behind. Gets it back. Lopez thought about a 3 and he's fouled. Williams will check out. Nope, he will actually be the inbounder. Ziffel will check out as Ligon rejoins his teammates. Good ball reversal. Rodenberger being aggressive. Castillo with a nice pump fake. Fades away. Can't get the roll. Ligon comes flying out of nowhere. White says, I'll take that. And just look at 6'6" Colin White. And they list Erford at 6'4". Well, he looks a little more than that as Ligon off the inbounds. Shot didn't have a lot of rotation on it. Erford, a star in his own right, despite being scoreless tonight as he crosses over and loses the basketball. Both teams with 3 turnovers here in the 4th quarter. Getting several looks from GMAC schools, Division II. See if he decides if he wants to play as Lopez. Nice nifty spin move. Gets to the iron. I believe Tomazos has picked up his 3rd. Antonio Lopez looking for his first points on the evening. Lopez, a good free throw shooter at 72%. Drains his first. Eyes it, skies it, and delivers. 50-24. Lopez dogging Tomazos up the court. White on the drive, beautiful stop and pop J. Again, it looks so sweet, although that one didn't fall. Erford Working against, whoa! I was about to say Lopez, and I didn't hear the whistle. Ligon thought he had a clean block. But the foul will go against him, his second. To the stripe. Ross Mag looking for his first points of the evening, and he drains them. Mag, just a 42% free throw shooter. Got them both. 52-24. Coming up on the 5-minute mark in the contest. Lopez. Oh, that was a pretty looking shot. They're going to give it to him. Beyond the arc, a Premier Bank three-pointer, give him 5 on the evening. White working against Rodenberger. Long cross-court pass. Burford, boy, look at this ball movement. Up top, wide open. Pretty looking three for Grady Tomazos. He averages 7.4, and on that Premier Bank three-pointer, he's now got 16 on the night. Lopez thought about quick trigger. Nice bullet pass down low, and Rodenberger muscles up against White. Here, Rodenberger with 5. Mag releases the ball. Long skip pass, almost through the fingertips of Schrader. He drives, it's almost as if the sea parted for him, and again, tough to hear the whistle at the other end of the court. We'll see who this is against. Khalil Ligon with his third. Schrader, a 46% free throw shooter to the line. This one rattles in and out. And we're about to see wholesale substitutions now. I wasn't sure how long Coach McLaughlin was going to keep his starters in. 4 just checked out. To a round of applause from the Titan faithful that made the drive. Second is on the way. We'll have to wait for the 5th sub. The outlet up the court to Ligon. Ooh, he took a shot. Dave Westrick now with his 3rd. They're going to call that foul on the floor. Wagner will check in, and the night most likely is done for Grant Schrader. He'll finish with 5 points. Lopez, pump fakes, drives in, takes a 19-footer off the mark. I believe this is Braden Zimmerly. I did not get a chance to look at Ottawa Glandorf's book prior to the game. But if the junior varsity number is correct, Braden Zimmerly has checked in, as has Fortman. Looks like Wagner. Looking to see if Kitchen's on the floor. He is. Ligon with a board. Lopez will try from distance. He's finding his range late. He's got 8 points, all of them here in the 4th quarter. And now we're seeing some substitutions for the Bulldogs. Rodenberger, Castillo, Williams, and Lopez will grab some bench. Your Bulldog 5 are Hutchison, Kellemeyer, Wright, Ligon, and Zipper. Fortman lost the ball, secures it. Under 3 minutes left to go in the contest. Just crisp passing by the Titans. Drive, 360 spin is off the mark. The ball tapped into Kellemeyer's hands. Right bobbles it. Zippel releases. Ligon. 360 spin move. Tries a little finger roll. Doesn't get it, and he's down. Slow to get up. It's 5-on-4 for the Titans. Wide open three from the far corner. Off the far side of the iron by Wagner. A lot of bodies hitting the hardwood tonight. Right. Little circus shot. Outlet. It's 2-on-1. Here comes Wagner. He double clutched. Hutchison fouls him in the act. So Wagner to the line. 56% so far this season. He's got 6 points on the evening. Give him 7. Holden Aldrich checking in for Dave Westrick for Ottawa Glandorf. Ligon being subbed out. Williams back in. Second free throw is good. Wagner's got 8 on the night. Zippel. Well, a couple of Titan defenders actually collided with each other, and he took advantage, tried to drive baseline. This foul is going to go against Aldrich. Zippel with 3 points on the evening. He's 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. He's 57% on the season, trying to drain his first of the evening, and there it is. He's got 4 points. Drew Allegretti about to check in. 6-foot sophomore. There you get a good look at Zippel on the line. This one rattles in and out. Still staying aggressive. Williams knocks the ball away. Kitchen spun to nowhere there, and this one knocked away. Jump ball will be the call. And Allegretti about to head onto the court for the first time this evening. Zippel's night is done. Crowd thinning out a bit here with $1:26 left to go. Crossing over Fortman. And another whistle. Actually a turnover. No, take that back. Was waiting for the call, and it was a foul on Fortman. Good ball reversal. Kellemeyer wants to try a three. He's got it. DJ Kellemeyer adds 3 more on a Premier Bank 3-point shot. He's got 5 now on the evening. 57-36. Working it down low. Aldrich is posting up, and a nice drive, getting the friendly roll. Brady Fortman now with 5 on the evening. 59-36. Kellemeyer, does he have another one in him? Not this time. Kitchen with the board. With 23 seconds left, you would expect Ottawa Glandorf to just dribble out the remainder of the clock. And that certainly looks like what they're going to do. Final 7 seconds will tick off the clock. Ottawa Glandorf in command from the very beginning as they pick up their 17th win overall and remain unbeaten in the Western Buckeye League. Titans 59, Bulldogs 36. 17-3 overall, 8-0 in the conference, as Defiance falls to 7-13. And now 2 games below 500 in the WBL at 3-5. We'll take a First Insurance Group timeout. When we come back, we'll get the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show underway. You're watching DCTV Sports. We welcome you back to the Dog Pound as the crowd files out. Time to begin our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. Brett Balvinot saying thank you for joining us. Well, the number 2 ranked team in Division III came in here and showed exactly why. Basically, from the opening tip-off, they just exploded this evening. The Bulldogs found themselves on the bottom of a 10-0 run to open up the game before they could even catch their breath. Final score, Titans 59, Bulldogs 36. Let's break it all down with your Mark Moats Ford stat summary. Let's start with points. Well, they held Colin White, the future Ohio State Buckeye, to just 2 points at the end of the first quarter. You knew that he was going to get his own. The only question was how many. He does finish slightly below his per-game average of 24, but not by much. He finishes with 21 points on the evening. The player that maybe raised a few eyebrows, certainly opened a few eyes, is Grady Tomazos. Tomazos, a 6-foot junior. He averages 7.4 points per contest, but he had 10 at the end of the first quarter. He finishes with 16 on the evening. There was plenty of bench production as well for the Titans. 8 for Alex Wagner off the bench. 5 points for Brady Fortman, and a deuce for 6'7" Dave Westrick. Also a deuce for Ross Mag. Ironically, starting center Caden Erford, who averages 14 a game, was held scoreless tonight, rounding out the offensive totals for the Titans. Starting guard Grant Schrader finishing with 5. On the flip side, for head coach Bryn Lehman and the Defiance Bulldogs, Khalil Ligon led the charge with 12 points. However, he was held scoreless in the fourth and final quarter. 5 points for Garrett Rodenberger. 8 points for Antonio Lopez. All of those coming in the fourth quarter. A couple of free throws, a couple of three-pointers. 4 points for Brez Zippel, 2 for Brogan Castillo, and off the bench, 5 for TJ Kellermeyer. Those are your Mark Moats Ford stat summaries. We're going to continue to break it down. When we come back, we will have our Steichman Automotive Group player of the game. The Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show continues right after this. Final score tonight, Titans 59, Bulldogs 36. You're watching DCTV Sports. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. We're going to put a big blue and white bow on this one with our Steichman Automotive Group player of the game. Look, you could easily say Grady Tomazos, I don't want to say carried the Titans through the first 8 minutes, but to explode for 1.5 times your per-game average through the first quarter with 10, finishing with 16. He certainly set the tone tonight. But despite the slow start, Colin White showed why he's going to be playing in the Big Ten next year, finishing with 21 points. He is our Steichman Automotive Group player of the game. On the horizon, looking ahead for both these teams, tomorrow night, the Titans get back after it as they will take a bus ride to Lexington. For the Bulldogs, they've got a week off. Next Friday, they are at Division I, Wapakoneta. And then before you know it, we're going to be looking at the first round of the playoffs. And we'll be breaking that all down over the next week. As a matter of fact, the girls' playoffs and districts start next week. Our next broadcast will be Thursday from Ayersville as the Pilots will be getting after it. Matter of fact, let's double check on the opponent. But Ayersville will be our next broadcast as we take a look at girls basketball, Division III style, as their opponent will be, or pardon me, Division IV style against Hicksville, the number 10 seed. That will be a 7 o'clock tip-off. We'll be on the air with our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show at 6:30. That's going to do it for our coverage here this evening. Big thank you going out to our crew doing more than yeoman's work this evening. Huge thank you going out to our underwriters. Folks, if you enjoy our coverage of area sports, please patronize these businesses. Walk through their doors. Show them your appreciation, both out of your pocketbook, and let them know how much you appreciate their sponsorship. Without it, we would not be able to bring you the coverage of area high school sports that we have been able to do throughout the course of this season. Also, a huge thank you to you, the fan, for tuning in. Again, final score tonight. Number 2 ranked in Division III, Ottawa Glandorf, 59. Defiance, 36. This is Brent Balbinot. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.